Alright, so there's the vehicle. Looking good. Alright, today is Saturday, October 4, 2025. Take a guess where I'm at. Saw the sign back there. Alright, so I am at Cecil Park. I was here a couple weeks ago. I had just gotten that new phone on September 19th. I got the 17 Pro Max, and I had a clear case with it, and I showed that on camera. But now I've got the orange silicone case. Cool, ain't it? It's a little bit too orange for me. I wish it was a little browner, because the actual phone is a little bit more on the brown tint. But I have another case coming in another couple weeks. I saw it actually in the store, could have picked it up there, but I ordered it and I think, well, just let it take its time to get here and let me get accustomed to this one. So I used that other case for 2 weeks. Oh, damn it. I hate that. Every time you grab your phone, somehow it switches into, like, it wants to change your background, your wallpaper. Anyway, I had that other clear case for about 2 weeks. Used it, I mean. And now I got this silicone one. And I like this texture better because it's a little bit easier to grip. Well, it's better to grip. It doesn't slip. That other one was very slippery. And it seemed to be a little more heavy. And you know, getting the phone in and out of that, or basically getting it out of that other case, was a pain. These kind, I've had these silicone cases before, and this should be, it is easy, and that other one should be easy too, that weave one. That clear one is different. It's shaped differently. Down on the bottom, it has openings, and it has grips on the side, and it's actually hard to get the phone out of there. Man, there's all kind of crap on the ground here. Holy mackerel. People didn't clean. It says no dogs are allowed in the park. People take their dogs up here to the trail. They don't clean up after them, though. Make sure I didn't step in anything. Let's see my shoes. That's good. How about this one? Yeah, that's alright. Alright, so we're going up the ramp. Whew. The infamous ramp. Two years ago, from like May 23 to August 23, I was coming to the Cecil Park all the time, walking around the park. I said, I wonder where this ramp goes. I wonder what this is up here. There's no signs. I didn't look it up or anything. And I never wanted to try. I said, this looks like it's a little too steep. Anyway, it's not really too steep. Eventually looked it up. Realized this is the Montour Trail up here. I said, doggone it, I never knew that. You could get to it right here. Watch where you're walking here, man. Some kind of junk. See the part ramp? Now, 2 weeks ago I went down that way, and I went all the way down to Galati Road. This time I'm going this way. Now, the last time I went in this direction, I believe that was in May of 25. I should finish that other story first. Basically, once I figured out that this is the Montour Trail, I was worried about going up that ramp. I said, is it going to be rough or what? Turns out it wasn't rough. You know, maybe the first few times it's like, whoa, that's a little tricky. I'm not real good with slopes going uphill, but it's not too bad. That was like it was like September 1st, 2023. It opened up a whole new world. Started coming to the trail and never looked back. This is 2025 right now, October 4th. So, okay, the last time I was on this, going in this direction was in May of 2025. I went from Cecil Park all the way up here to the Muse-Bishop Bridge, and then walk back. I think it's like about 1.7 miles one way, total of 3.4. Hi. Yeah, I wish this case was a little darker. And you could see the phone this is the phone part here, and see it's like a little darker orange. It's heading towards brown, but then this case is super yellow orange. That clear case was pretty nice because it showed you some of the back, but then it had that white block on there for the charging, so I wish that wouldn't have been there. Wish it would have been like truly clear, because a couple people on bikes. Anyway, I got one case and now 2 cases, and there's going to be a third one coming. So if you ever get tired of anything, you just go back and use another case. I mean, really, the only reason I bought that clear one is because when I was ordering the phone, pre-ordering the phone, and then I'm like, okay, I got to make sure I have a case like on day one because I don't want to use an iPhone without a case. I don't want to get it fingerprinted up and maybe potentially even scratched. They're showing all those phones on YouTube. They show how it gets scratched, which is crazy. Really expensive iPhone, it scratches. Anyway, I said, geez, I gotta make sure I got a case. The silicone one, this orange one, for example, this one wasn't going to come until like 2 weeks after the phone came out. And the other ones were longer time too, but the clear one was available like immediately, so I ordered that one. I got that clear case delivered. Probably about on September 16th, which is like 3 days before the phone came delivered. The phone was delivered on September 19th. The phone was delivered on release day, which was 2 Fridays ago. Oh, look at that. Okay, there. Huh. Probably some snakes in there. There's a lot of leaves on the trail. Also a lot of like crap. I don't know if it's dog crap or if it's deer crap, who knows? Some type of crap. I'm not gonna go and inspect it. Hi. Well, once again, we're having a great weather day. When I was getting out of the car, it was like 80 degrees. Sunny. No clouds. 80 degrees in October. Rocktober. Enjoy it now. Yeah, yesterday was really warm too. We've had some good days. Hi. Hi. Nice shady part right here. Whew, it stinks too. What kind of like dead animal smells and stuff. Nasty. So I was out on the trail yesterday at the PRT station and library. Went down to Brownsville Extension and back. Total of 3 miles. Mile marker 23. It feels like the first year when I did the trail in 2023, and I was trying to pack it all in. I started in September 1st, and I was like, wow, I got to get to all these places. Went to trailhead after trailhead. Then start realizing the weather's going to change. Got to grab all the days you can. I remember it was like frantically going from place to place. That first week of October 23, that was really nice weather. It was like 80 degrees, similar to right now. And I would go to a trailhead, love that, drove to it for the first time, found out about it, enjoyed it, then said, okay, good, I'm going to another one. Same day, and I went to another one, and another one. So I went to a lot of trailheads back to back. Now let's see what this is. Montour mine number 2. Okay. I have to slow it down because I'm starting to get tired already. I did the walking yesterday and I hadn't walked outside for a while. So I'm kind of tired. Didn't sleep too much. I'll say this year started out with good intentions to go to the trail as much as you could. But then in the spring it was really cool. We had a long time before it got warmed up and it was like rainy. Then eventually it got warm and it got spiked up to the heat wave, which I can't walk too much in that. It's too hard on your body, your heart. Plus you get drenched, sweat. So then you do like a lot of indoor walking. Then you'd find a sweet spot, come back on the trail. Now, I got this new vehicle. I'm kind of like purposely avoiding a lot of those secluded trailheads or dirt roads and stuff. Just because it's a new vehicle and I don't want to get it all messed up. Plus, I don't want to risk any theft, damages or anything. So I'm trying to just go to like populated, paved trailheads. There's not too many of them. Let's see, 0.8 miles. So if I remember, I looked that up this morning, and to get to that Muse-Bishop bridge, it was like 1.7. Parking a car in that lot I parked at, and then going to that, it's 1.7. So I'm at like 0.8. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to go that far. I'm not in this for any kind of, competition or record keeping, record breaking, just for fun. I remember 2 years ago when I first did this, I came from Cecil Park, walked down to here, and I was like, wow, man, look at all this stuff. And I go, this is a little bit too far, and I can't. Meanwhile, it's only like, it's not even a mile, almost a mile. Hi. What's the name of this? Camden or something? Cowden. Okay. Cowden Crossing. So we didn't even get to Ridgewood yet. Yeah, Ridgewood it said was like 9 from that ramp. But I think from my car to the top of that ramp is like 0.2. So, should be coming up on that in a little while. Maybe another 0.15 maybe. Let's get some water. I remember up here, there's a place a dude was like putting his grass clippings. Which I thought was pretty ridiculous. Hi. There's some old grass clippings right there. There's a bunch of new ones up here. So people that live here just come up here and dump their grass clippings. And here comes that Ridgewood. See, I remember first trip, went just to that Cowden and then came back. And the next time I went a little further, went up to here to Ridgewood, came back. That was in 2023. I think it was 2024 before I ever went any further than this Ridgewood. And I went up to that Muse-Bishop bridge. I remember these time frames, not the exact dates, but that was like in maybe May of 24. Interesting. Yeah, that time, May of 24, I think I went all the way up to Muse-Bishop Bridge, and we had just had like a ton of rain in the spring there. It was all wet, everything was flooded out. Now, I often thought of parking at this trailhead. It's a little tiny trailhead right here. Very limited parking. There's nobody on this. Nobody here right now. Here's the Ridgewood the sign. Let's take a look at that sign. Map. See, I don't know about, I've seen people park here. You could park a couple of cars right here. I'm sure it would be safe because there's houses right there and everything. I don't know, I just don't like, I don't know if I like it here. It's definitely, not bad. Anyway, whatever, I didn't park here. So it would have been like 1.1 miles I would have saved. Yeah, now see McConnell Road 1.2. Let's get closer to that sign. We're definitely not going to that. That's a little too much. I would like to go to that National Tunnel again. But parking where I parked, it's a little bit too far. $23.50. So it's like you figure, where are you gonna, think it out. Where are you gonna park for the tunnel? You could park it here at Ridgewood. That'd be easier to get to. I mean, closer to the tunnel. You could park down that McConnell Road, but that's a real tiny thing, and parking is very limited. They put mounds of crushed limestone in there, took up the parking lot. So and he said, well, okay, the closest parking. Oh, these guys talking back there. Closest parking to that would be that Cecil Henderson Road on the other side of the tunnel. It's called like Scenic or something.
On your left. Have a good one. Hello.
Hi. On your left, have a good one. On your right. Yeah, that was a... See, if you had a bike like that, electric, no problem. Like I said, I got my bike 2 years ago in September of 23, shortly after walking on these trails. And I used it for a little while, and I'm not in that great of shape, so I didn't like it that much. And it's not electric, so you just gotta pedal and pump. This little squirrel. Yeah, I'm starting to sweat now. It's a thing. I'm sure I could make it all the way to that tunnel, no problem. That would be, I don't know, somewhere around 3 miles from where I parked. But then it's a problem getting back, because that's too much in one day. Like 6 miles, man, it's nuts. Huh. You never know what's going to come out of those woods. This is nice right here. Let me take an alternate video. First alternate video with the new case. Like that makes a difference. Yeah. First selfie with the new case. The new phone case. Has no impact on it. And so that goes to the Muse-Bishop Bridge. And that way goes back towards Cecil. First selfie with the new case. Not just the new phone. I'm talking about the new case. This case. Silicone. Silicone orange. Yeah, I remember coming on this. The first time that I came up to this point was 24. In 23, I had stopped at that Ridgewood. Now, if I was younger, I'd be able to do a lot more. Look at that. Yeah, I remember these stones up here, kind of like a little wall. Yeah, these are like for blocking maybe like falling rock. You don't usually see this kind of stuff on a trail, these blocks. As they call them, Jersey barriers. Or K-rail. K-rail. Those are small, but I mean, I'm pretty sure that's there for landslides. Now there's some interesting ones way down at McConnell Road that I don't think they're for landslides. They're just cool design, and they've got little half spheres on the top of the concrete. Very interesting. Well, since I'm coming this far, I'm going to go all the way to the Muse-Bishop Bridge. And, you know, who knows, before the end of this season, I'm just saying might, go down to that park on the other side of the tunnel at that Scenic, which is Cecil Henderson Road, and then just come back towards the tunnel. I really want to go to that tunnel again, but that trailhead is all dirt, and it's got a lot of ruts. It reminds me of when you go to Boggs. That trailhead's pretty ragged. Boggs is nicer, I think. this one up here, that Scenic, is it's kind of small. It's very dusty and dirty. I did it this year in March. It was like the second week on the trail, in March of 25. We had a real nice day. It was like in the 70s or something. Wore shorts and a short sleeve shirt for the first time on the trail. See, I remember stuff like that. Plus, I make videos with that or the body cam. So I go back and look at them every once in a while. Think about that. I had the Blazer. That was in March, mid-March. That was before the hailstorm. That was a long time ago now. Figure March, April, May, June, July, August. I did that yesterday. I'm like, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like 7 months ago, basically. 7 plus 3 equals 10. Stop using your fingers to count. Fuzzy math. There's a couple of chipmunks there running around, chasing each other. Look, right there. We're not going to be able to see it with this camera. They were just out on the trail. There's one right there. Oh, see, I pulled this. Damn it, I pulled this phone out. There's another one of those. Let's take a picture of that. And I pulled this phone out. There was a stupid notification thing blocking us, trying to press the camera thing. It was like this notification thing was in the way. I'm like, gosh darn it. So that little hesitation messed me up. Because by the time I got that, in mere seconds, I mean, by the time I got that cleared, that little chipmunk ran away. Alright, so we're coming up on that. Yeah, we're good here. It's 1.55, so we're almost there. I can see a mile marker sign, and then the bridge is a little bit past that mile marker sign. Nothing like the first time, though, when you come to these places. First time I got to this, I couldn't believe this bridge is so nice. It reminds me of one of those longer viaducts, even though this is just a smaller thing that goes across that road, Muse Road. It's built the same way. There's mile marker 24. There's something about this trail walking. It's very peaceful. Now on a day like today, this is a Saturday, there's a lot of people out, but a lot of times I would come to these on weekdays, Monday or Tuesday, whatever, and it's so deserted, and sometimes it's a little spooky. Alright, so here's the Muse-Bishop Bridge. I'd say maybe that's about half as long as the that viaduct in the library. Let's look out here for a second. Take it all in. Nice house right there. So this is the Muse-Bishop Bridge. Let's cross it. There's a sign up the other end.
How you doing, buddy? I don't
Good.
scare
How are you? That's good. Thanks. Alright, so there you go. There's Muse-Bishop Bridge from the other side. Let's go up here to see the sign. Alright, so here we are. Muse-Bishop Bridge. There's a little shack up over there. This is it. I ain't going any further. Like I said, if I was younger, I would go all the way down to that tunnel. That's like another, probably like 1.5 miles from here. Or, wait a minute, no, maybe like a mile, 1.2 or something. Yeah, I don't know, somewhere around a mile from here. Because, usually I park at that Cecil Henderson Road, Scenic, and that's like half a mile from the tunnel. And then up to the tunnel and up to here is like a 1.5 total, I think. There's probably like another mile to get to the tunnel. I ain't doing it because I'm old. Alright, let's take a little. Now, look how that orange. It's really too much orange, I think. Too deep orange. Well, it's not deep orange, I mean it's light, but I mean it's too bright orange is what I meant. But it kind of matches with the background that I got, the wallpaper. Alright, let's do this. Something's running around down there. Alright, Muse-Bishop Bridge. Hey. There's that old-timey fence. Another one on that side. I love those fences. Now this is the old-timey ones right here. And then this is reminiscent of the metal one that goes, and this is the wooden with the fence in it. I don't mind this. Now here's the bridge. We are on the bridge. Do not drop your phone. Yeah, that's really pretty. Let's if you stand out in the middle of this bridge, you start getting a little shaky because it's pretty high up. Now let's stop this and do the selfie next. Selfie, all right. Now let's stand right in the middle of this bridge. There you go. Muse-Bishop Bridge. There's the other direction. Now, this is where you would get real shaky and dizzy. When you start doing this and you're looking back, you gotta be real careful, and you don't want to fall off this. Okay. Yeah, let's do selfie as we go. Now let's stop here. Alright, I think it's done. It's done. My arm's getting sore. Tired. Alright. That's enough. I do like this as I'm using this now. Just the first day here I'm using it. This is it's got a little more of a grip than that clear one. That clear one was so slippery. I'm always afraid you're gonna drop it. It's, and it's weird because they made it slippery, but then it's also more sturdy, I think. You could drop it and be okay. So here's more of that. Let's just go, let's review this again. So all these bridges, all these viaducts and everything have this type of rail, metal. There's like that kind of a fence down there. It's the same as all of them. They're all built the same way. Then at the end of them, you get this wooden structure that's got that same kind of fence to mimic that. And it's on this side too. But then after that, you get into this old time fence. That's the fence I love. Now see, this thing's complaining already. Okay. Alright, so we had 1.7-ish. And now we're heading back. Here's that old time fence. So I'm thinking about this. The weather days are going to be good just for another couple of days. Then it's going to start raining, I guess, and get cooler. It's still not going to be the end of the trail walking. I mean, this is only the beginning of October, so. But anyway, what I might do, I might break down and just go ahead and park at that Cecil Henderson Road just to go to that tunnel one more time. There's houses down there. Pretty nice houses out here. We're not quite there yet for the fall leaves changing. I mean, you got a mixture of like that one right there looks like it's pretty dead, and then you got all these green ones. I want to see it where it's all like yellow and orange. Then that would match my phone. See, just staring at that, it's too pale yellow, orange. It's too light. I think I'm going to really like when I get that darker, it's a darkish, it's called sienna or something. I don't know, they got some weird ass names. I forget, it's Sierra or Sienna, I can't remember which one. But anyway, it's a darker brownish color. And it's that weave. I like it. I saw it in the store. I saw it online and everything, but I saw it in the store last week. And, oh, what is that right there? Is that a... I don't know what that is. It's not a squirrel. That was something else. Anyway, I saw that. I was almost going to buy it in the store, the Apple store, and then cancel my the pre-order I made online. But I said, no, I'm going to just wait because I don't want to get too many cases all at once. So ridiculous. Apple's got you. They got you suckered in. New phone. Then you go, oh, new accessories, new this, new that. Every time you turn around, there's something new. Basically, the first case was the only one available online at the time when I wanted to get right for the phone. The phone was coming. So I bought that. But I pre-ordered this one here at the same time. It didn't come out until yesterday. I delivered until yesterday. So I've had the phone for 2 weeks, which is good because I used that other case for 2 weeks. And I got the pluses and minuses, or as they said it, the politically correct way to say that at work was the advantage, not to say advantages and disadvantages or pluses and minuses. You'd say the pluses and what the hell word were they using? You know, you'd say like the positives and negatives, right? They don't really use the word negative. to offend somebody with the word negative. It's all bullshit. You'd say the positives, and the challenges, or something like, some bullshit buzzword you'd use. You look it up online, I'll find a whole bunch of those DEI shit. Alright, anyway. Sidetrack. Hi. Well, what I was starting to say was, you get a case, you have it for about 2 weeks, you get to use it, see if you like it. Pluses and minuses, I'm going to say, positives and negatives. Then you get another case, and you get to use this for a couple of weeks. And then, after that, another one's going to come. I think what I'm going to end up, just so I can predict, I'm going to want that third one. I'm going to like that one the best. Because it's going to be darker, it's like brownish. But it goes really well with that orange. That darker orange right here of the phone. It blends in real nice. And it's easy, the texture is great. It's easy to grip. And it's going to be easier to grip than this here silicone one. It's like in the past, I've had, with my iPhone 12 Pro Max, I've had the silicone one or the leather one. The leather one was nicer. The silicone one's okay too, but it's a little slicker to grip. It's a little slippery. Anyway, man, I got a closet full of this junk from all the phones I've had. Stuff you're never going to use again. Old cases and shit. So right in the middle of this, yeah, we're in the middle of that. We're in the middle of the shutdown also. The Schumer shutdown. You listen to those guys arguing about it left and right. You hear the Republicans, you hear the Democrats. And the one thing that gets me is, and I understand the reasons behind everything, things were passed in the one big beautiful bill, and they only had to have a 51 count, and it just barely passed recently in July. But now for this continuing resolution, it has to have 60 votes in the Senate, and that's the only thing the Democrats can hang on to. It's like they want to try to reverse stuff that was already in law, already approved, going to take effect at the end of the year. So this is their only thing. It's the only way they can try to obstruct. Because if they just go ahead and pass that resolution right now and not shut down the government, they've got nothing. They got no cards, as they say. You got no cards. This is the only way they can do it. And it's stupid. Now on the other side you hear, they keep saying, they voted for this 13 times during the Biden administration, and Schumer voted for this same exact kind of thing, continuing resolution back in March of this year. So why won't he do it now? But the thing is, you'd say, are you guys really working on a plan, or are you just waiting until the next deadline and then doing this continuing resolution shit? Now, Mike Johnson's saying, oh yeah, he's talking about all the stuff we've been doing ever since March. And stuff has to go to this committee and that committee, and we got this and that. And we're honestly working towards that, and it just takes time. So all we want is a continuing resolution to last us until sometime in November. And by then we're gonna have it all negotiated out. I doubt that. I seriously doubt that. So what's gonna happen is, if they pass this resolution now, in about 7 weeks, it's gonna all happen again. All happen again. So we could be sitting here again, like right before Thanksgiving, with the same story, like, well, we're gonna have a government shutdown and this and that and the other thing. Believe no one is what I always say. Ridgewood Drive. Those kids got those. Hi. Hi. See those little kids back there, man? They had those kind of bikes, electric bikes, that they are not even hardly ever using the pedals on. And it's almost like riding a mini bike. Like I had the mini bike when I was younger, about the same size as those little bikes there. It's almost like the same thing. So they're cheating. I wonder what this post was used for. There must have been some kind of a sign on that post right there. A mile marker, maybe. Anyway, I figure why bother? There's a mile marker right there. Mile 23.5, it says right on that sign. Okay. Alright. Anyway, you listen to these politicians, you go crazy listening to all their spin. But I do believe that look at it another way. You might not like it. Schumer and the Democrats might not like it, and I'm sure they don't. But that one big beautiful bill passed, okay? Whether they like it or not. Elections have consequences, and it already is law, and it's going to take effect at the end of the year for these various cuts and whatever. Different programs are cut and all that kind of stuff. So, they already lost, okay? But now they go, well, we got one last chance. Put up this fuss and shut down the government so we can try to overturn that. I was listening to some idiot yesterday, that Democratic guy, Ro Khanna. Don't like that guy at all, man. But he's making all these statements like, well, Republicans can do whatever they want. I mean, they can change that, vote on that so that they can end up having the 51 vote rule instead of the 60 vote if they wanted to, which I'm sure they could. They could vote on it to eliminate that filibuster and make it go back to the 51 thing. But if they do that and get their way now, so they get everything they want passed, because they got both houses of Congress and they got the president, then next time when they're not in power or it's split, they'll be stuck with that. So everybody wants to hang on to that 60 vote thing as your leverage. So I guess you'd have to be stupid to try to switch back to the 51 way. The rules are very twisted. When the vote was made in the Big Beautiful Bill in July, that was what's called a reconciliation vote. And that's where you only needed the 51. Now it's continuing resolution is not under that, it's under the other. Yeah, I remember when that was changed back in, was that during Obama's time? Where they changed that to the 60 vote. But everybody wants it when they're in the hole. It's like, well, we got the leverage if we got the 60 instead of the 51. The only way out of that is if you got more senators on your side. Right now there's only 53 Republicans. Now I'm starting to get sore. My legs are getting sore. They're tired from yesterday. And here we are again. There's something different about this time of year. You know it's going to go straight to hell. The weather's going to get cold. Hi. So it's like you're loving this, but yet you know that it's short-lived. I always say that I think those electric bikes are cheating, but as I get older, I might say, who cares? Maybe I would want to try that because I like the idea of going farther, and walking, you just can't go as far. And pedaling all that way is too rough for me. But if you had an electric bike, it'd be easier. So I could go further and do more things. What is that over there? It's like an old fence post or something. Anyway, I like the idea of Trump saying, hey, look, we're going to do whatever we can to cut out more stuff, wasteful spending, Doge 2.0, and do it now, because he's got the power to do it. When the government is shut down, he can do more things. So I like it that he's doing that, and he's going to do it. Then you hear these whiners, these press people in the press briefing yesterday saying, like, well, why now? I mean, there's been many different shutdowns, and they never did these permanent, like, layoffs and stuff. Why are you doing it now? Why is Trump doing it now? Why is he targeting that? Targeting Democrat programs and stuff. Well, why do you think, lady, these whiners all these memes too, I love that, where Trump is trolling them left and right. And everybody's been saying that the only reason that Schumer's doing this is because he's scared. He's scared of losing his control. I think he already lost his control in the Senate. Nobody likes him. Even the Democrats don't like him. But can you imagine what's going through his head when he sees this AOC coming up and jumping up and down, talking like she's taking over? I'm sure he hates every second of that. It'd be interesting if she would too run for that office. She is a twisted weasel. Hi.
Good afternoon, I guess.
Oh, yeah. 2 o'clock. Yeah, that AOC doesn't have much brain capacity. She's all show. Not too swift. How do these people get into office? Is what sometimes I want to tune that stuff out. Okay, look, I'm on the trail, I'm walking, they're in a government shutdown, but who gives a shit? It's not affecting me. Now, if this was a national park, and not a local community, Pittsburgh area park, and they close it down, then I'd be pissed. Boy, it stinks here real bad. Dead animals. Whew. That is raunchy. Whew. That's a long one. I see that girl was on that bike. She was going real fast. Faster than the speed limit on this trail. Plus she didn't have a helmet on. And she didn't ring the bell and say on your left. So she's breaking all the rules. But nobody gives a fuck. Now, this dude's the same way. Holy shit. Talk about speed demons. No helmet, no nothing. They ruin it for everybody. This would look so much nicer with all the leaves changed colors. A little dark and mysterious right here. Now there's the Cecil police station and the community center. That's where I used to park a lot of times when I do the walks inside the park. Well, this is really nice. Let's get a couple extra shots of this. Switch to selfie. Okay. Yeah, stuff falling down. Acorns or something falling down. Huh. Somebody coming on a bike? Hi. Now that guy's following the rules. He's going slower and he's got a helmet on and everything. That rocks and the trees coming out. Man, this is crazy. Nature. Alright, so there's that straight down there. There's that one pavilion. Let's get up here a little bit. Right here, there's that pavilion that has that monument there. You know, it almost looks like there's something else down there now. I haven't been down there for a while. No, okay, it's two. I forgot. It's two pieces of... Let's get a picture of that, so we know what we're talking about. Alright. Video, go. Right down there, that's that pavilion that's in the park, and there's that memorial thing. Okay. I'm going to have to say it one more time. I'm not real crazy about the orange, alright? Even the phone. I mean, I wanted red. I love red. If they had red, man, it would be so great. But here's my red. I got this, and I got the red car. So I still got two things of red. Alright, so we're now at 3 miles. So back there it was like 1.7 and 1.75 or so. So it should be like 3.4 or 3.5 roughly total. Now that's real interesting. I think I've seen these before. I've commented on that before. There's a couple of posts up there, almost like there used to be some kind of a bridge there. I don't know what that is. Almost look like gravestones. Oh shit. Acorns falling down all over the place. Right there. There. What are those? Alright, whatever. I must be able to see my car from here. Not quite. Yeah, there's that tennis court, and you can't really see a little bit past there. Yeah, I'll tell you, these rail trails are some of the greatest things that ever came about. You know, when I was a kid, you'd go out on trails in the woods and stuff, but it wasn't like this. And it was like really rugged and really hard to, it's like hiking. This is great. What's that? Is that a little chipmunk? Oh, shoot. I was going to get a picture of that. He was just sitting up, eating. Cute little chipmunk. And we're coming up onto that ramp now. The Cecil Park ramp. Yeah, 2 years ago, from May to August of 2023, I'll be walking down on that park. And I hear people sometimes up here. I'm like, wonder what this is up here. You hear people talking, and sometimes you could even see a bike. Lots of leaves here. You want to clean your shoes off a little bit, but you got to be careful where you step. Some kind of nasty stuff here. You're like right here. You don't want to step in any kind of crap or something, you know what I mean? Then all of a sudden you're screwed. Get those leaves stuck in your socks. I can see my car from here. Alright, let's from here, this is Cecil Park ramp. Let me do this, alright? Alright, here we go. We're in the Cecil Park ramp. Okay. There's the top of the ramp. Now down there, in between those leaves, is my vehicle. Yeah. All by itself. Which is the way I like it. Well, this trail wasn't too dusty or anything. It's got a lot of leaves and it's a little more moist. So consequently, the shoes are looking fairly clean. As opposed to yesterday on that section. Boy, that was real powdery and dusty. What I did notice though, down here, there was a lot of crap on the trail and down through the park. No pets allowed in park. Alright, so let's just double check that. Okay. Well, my legs are sore now. Let's see, right down here is where all this crap was. I wonder if that could just be stuff coming off the trees. At low water level and no ducks. See, here's a bunch of stuff. It almost looks like it's coming from the trees. Pavilion number 3. We'd think this was summer. 80 degrees. Tomorrow's supposed to be the same as today, same kind of weather. And yesterday was like that too. So there's the vehicle all the way down at the end. This is so peaceful. Down there, water is barely flowing. you can see any kind of like fish in there or anything. I doubt it. Alright, there's the vehicle. Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go. Walking towards the vehicle. Zooming in on it. Yeah. That's a sharp looking vehicle, that's for sure. Okay, we're going to be signing off from Cecil Park, Saturday, October 4th, 2025. Bye-bye.